The early game Saturday on TNT will be Hawks Bucks. This podcast was certainly one of many national podcasts that very much enjoyed the Doc Rivers demise of the Bucks storylines early in the season. They have certainly turned it around and are on quite a run right now. We're all Giannis fans, and so I assume you guys are as happy as I am that at the idea of the Bucks competing, as funny as the Doc Rivers jokes are. And I do feel like the Bucks are a great example of the value of the in-season of the cup, which is here's a team with a star player, couple star players that struggled. That was sort of the early narrative that was out. And now you get a chance to kind of see what they look like in these meaningful games. And obviously Giannis is going to have to carry the burden of being the star player playing on Saturday. But what do you think of Hawks Bucks and where do you guys feel like the Bucks are in their sort of journey of the season?
I honestly do not know what to make of the Bucks right now. They had that troubling, concerning start where we all thought that they were about to blow it up, and then Giannis was like, "Hey, let me remind everyone that I'm the second best player in the world at absolute worst." It seems like every night he's putting up like 41 and 18 or something ridiculous. As far as the matchup, but I'm not sure how sustainable that is for Milwaukee. I don't know if you can just depend on Giannis to be otherworldly if you want to, be a 50-win team, So, but as far as the matchup, I love it. We're gonna have Trae who's on fire versus Giannis who's on fire. This is another matchup that for sure we didn't get any calls from Adam Silver about. You don't have the Bucks and the Hawks to see who represents the East in the Cup. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to that game.
My only bone to pick with the Bucks right now is that Taurean Prince is currently the best three-point shooter in the NBA. He's shooting 54% from three. And it's like watching your dusty ex who could not get it together for you starts dating a new girl. All of a sudden, he has a new car. He has a new job. He's like, popping on social, whatever. And it's just like, I gave you everything you asked for, everything you needed. You started 50-something games last year. Like, where was this three-point shooting on the Lakers?
To extend your analogy, don't you feel like if you have that experience with like 15 X's in a row, don't you at some point have to look in the mirror and go, is it me?
For sure. Them. There's a curse. Yeah, there's definitely a curse. I would never.
Why do all of these people seem so happy after they leave me?
The lights were brighter than expected, or whatever that meme is. Like,
I think we need to give credit to current Bucks assistant coach Darvin Ham,
undefeated in the cup.
For bringing Taurean along. And we're seeing JJ, having the same struggles that Darvin was having, and Taurean is balling. It's low key a little vindication tour for Darvin right about now, dog.
Well, LeBron brought his son to the Lakers, and Darvin brought his son to the Bucks. So it's really a happy story for everyone.
We're less than 2 months into the season, and this podcast is giving Darvin Ham more credit than JJ.
Absolutely. Well, we gave JJ credit when the Lakers were fucking 4-1, and we thought they were going to win the championship.
Yeah, we did a weekend.
If the Bucks win and Darvin Ham is undefeated in the history of the Cup, do they have to name it after him? Is it going to be
the Memorial Darvin Ham NBA
Ham Cup?
The Ham Cup.
The Ham Cup sounds like something that your mom packs in your lunch that you have to trade immediately. You're like, I don't want this. Does anybody have fruit by the foot?
You're not getting fruit by the foot for a Ham Cup, though. There's no way, bro.
A Ham Cup and a bag of cheeses.
You might get yellow fruit snacks. You might get the fruit snacks people don't want, like picked out of the bag for your Ham Cup. Yeah.
I feel like this might be the Virginia in me battling here, but I've never had bad ham. Have y'all? Like, I would have.
But a Ham Cup.
A cup of like some diced ham or some shit. That sounds delicious.
The ham you're getting,
I'm picturing it in like the thing that the mandarin oranges come in. I'm picturing it coming in a thing with some brine in it or something, bro.
I love how far this bit has gone. I love it so much.
But what I'm picturing with Ham Cup is bad.
You don't need to brine ham because ham is already salt cured.
I'm picturing it like the Lunchables, like the little.
But I'm just saying, when you say a cup,
it's going to come in that
with a wooden spoon or some shit. It's not just going to be raw in the cup.
Have y'all ever had bad ham? Like even cold cubed ham on a salad or
we've never had a we never had a ham cup. This is something brand
Yeah.
new. The way they're gonna have to preserve the ham.
I've
is the way
never
they
had
preserve
bad ice
meats.
cream, but I don't like the ice cream that's like pure ice that comes with the wooden spoon that you have to fucking like hammer it in to break
Italian
off this shit,
ice.
you know?
Yeah.
Italian ice is great.
Ham
I
ain't
like it.
never
That's
did
what
me
you're
wrong, bro.
describing.
No, I'm
You have
talking
to
about
hammer it with the wooden
I'm talking
spoon?
about the
I don't know why
vanilla
I
ice,
just did
the
this on the
vanilla
internet.
ice.
That was not.
Oops.
Might be mean, brother.
I'm talking about the
With the
vanilla
wrong
cup.
Put in the
group,
chat.
the
I'm
wrong
talking
That's
about
mean
the
that.
vanilla cup with the half a squirt of fudge on the side of it that was like with the wooden spoon
What?
that would cut your tongue up. Y'all never
What are
had
you
that?
talking about?
I do know what you're talking
Okay.
about. I do know what you're talking about. Also, Mikey
West
in the
Coast
chat
thing?
said Virginia ham is delicious.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
wants-
for
We got the
sure.
ham
Talk
capital
about
of
a
the
ham
world. Shout out
cup.
to Smithfield, bro.
Maybe that's your Virginia privilege showing that you only had access to the finest ham. The rest of us were slumming it with the nasty Lunchable shit.
Yeah. I will say, Tyler, the Lunchables ham is bad ham, bro.
It's
I have
bad.
had bad ham. And
Yeah.
you would probably correctly say it does not qualify as ham, but like
That
I
is ham
genuinely
That is
The
the
lunch-
ham that would come in a ham
Lunchables
cup.
turn
though.
me off a ham.
Jackson's
and that
like
would be the
mortified
ham
that we're
cup
still-
ham.
Yeah, that's the
talking
ham
about
cup ham, bro.
No, I'm laughing. I'm laughing at the funniest chat comment we have today so far, which is Mike's grandma definitely had a ham cup for Thanksgiving.
Bro, somebody hit me in my mentions.
The
Somebody hit
amount
me
of
in
comments we get about Mike's grandma. My dad was texting me about Mike's
somebody
grandma, bro.
DM me about jelly beans.
Jelly beans.
This is Mike's grandma. To give you some context clear, can we talk about it?
Yeah, you could talk about
Oh my, I love
You can make
Mike's-
fun of the
Mike's-
sweetest woman in the history
God,
of the
bro.
species and how poor
Mike's
she grew
grandma
up.
at one point in her life,
Mhm.
her and her two other siblings, they each got a jelly bean for Christmas.
One
was a
single
depression.
jelly
It was
bean?
for their birthday. They didn't get anything for Christmas, bro.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Come on, John.
Only spare one jelly bean at a
What?
time, so they got it for their birthday instead.
Okay, here's
And
what
that
I would
was-
say, and it would make my grandma happy that everyone's getting jokes off her expense, genuinely. But this is what I would say
Okay,
about
okay.
the level of poverty my grandma grew up in. We also thought it was funny until she found one Christmas we were going through like her family stuff, and she found a picture of the shack that she grew up in, and I remember at like 13 being like, "Oh, that's not." I was
Yeah.
like,
That's real.
I was like,
That's-
"Oh,
This
she
just took a
grew up
dark
in
turn.
hell." Like, we better stop making jokes about grandma.
Okay.
I'm
So
so sorry
stop
to
hitting me in
Mike's
my
grandma.
DMs about the jelly beans, okay?
I
No
hope
more
you gave her
jelly bean jokes.
copious jelly beans as an adult. I hope she was just,
My
all of the
grandma,
jelly beans you could ever want.
She went on to have a wonderful life. She and my grandpa, all they wanted was a fig tree in the backyard. They had a fig tree and they could make their own whatever the fuck you make out of figs.
Big
Jam?
Newtons.
Hey, that's that depression generation. That
Fig Newtons are crazy, though.
Fig Newtons was like they
I'm a
couldn't
big
believe you could
Fig
buy
Newton
Fig
fan.
Newtons.
You
at
could
the
probably get a
store.
Fig Newton for a ham cup.
Big Newtons are good. I keep my Fig Newton. I'm telling you that, brother. No brine ham for my Fig Newtons. Gotta
My
find another
aunt-
sucker.
I like that you said brother and like it was vaguely directed towards me. I'm like, wow, I've really arrived on this podcast. I'm honorary.
Brother is definitely
Man.
cross gender on this podcast.
Yeah, for sure, for
I call my
sure.
wife and
Yeah,
my
yeah.
mom bro as well. That's
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
That's part of the way we move.
Dame's been playing good though. I wanted to say that. We haven't been talking about Dame. Dame been playing good. And last game, he basically carried them at the end of it. You know what I mean? So I think the Bucks look good. I just wanted to say
Dame's
that
like the
little
refs. It's like when Dame's playing good, no one talks about it. And
But
when
that's
Dame's
what-
playing
that's-
bad,
that's
it's
part.
the
That's the
biggest story.
expectation.
That's
Yeah,
being the
yeah.
number 2 guy to
Yeah.
Giannis. Like that's 100%. That's not an easy role to accept. The other game, the ratings watchers, the NBA ratings watchers, thrilled for this one. Rockets Thunder. I did get a chance to watch the entire start to finish without having work to do or kids bothering me or anything else. I got to watch the entire Rockets Thunder Mavs game. I'm very attracted to the Thunder's defense.
They are
It's-
a
They're
good,
so good.
basketball
They're
team.
so good.
Bro.
They're so
Oh,
good.
so
They have
good.
everything.
So good.
There's no hole. And Chet was sitting on the bench. They're
Yeah.
whooping ass, and Chet is sitting on
Clapping
the bench
hands,
in like a
like,
fuzzy fucking velour suit,
Yeah.
looking like
The fact
Abraham
that
Lincoln and Juice
they-
Couture.
What a visual.
looking like a fucking nightmare. It's just looking like the ghost of Christmas past, bro.
That is a nightmare, though.
Hey.
Abraham Lincoln and Juicy Couture
Fine.
is an actual nightmare. I might have had that shit before, bro. That's crazy.
Fucking,
that's nightmare
fucking
fuel for sure.
imagining Chet Holmgren coming down your chimney to drop Christmas presents off. That's the
Slender
ET
Man?
tweet. I'll tell you one thing.
Oh,
Me and my friends
hell
would have
no.
killed him with hammers.
Damn, Mike.
Can you say that?
You know that ET tweet?
Allegedly.
You've heard that ET tweet.
On
On
the
right?
live.
That can't be cut,
You've
bro.
heard, you've
On the
Killing him
live.
with ham?
if he broke into my
This
house
is in
through
a
the
dream
chimney.
Mike had.
Why is
It's a
this the episode
nightmare.
you guys invited me on?
you
Now I'm an
Santa.
accomplice.
Right. You said he's
Admitting to crimes.
Hold
not a
on,
hypothetical
hold on, hold
crime.
on, hold
Killing
on.
him
You have
with
two, hold on,
hammers.
no, hold on. You have
Poor
two
Jackson.
babies in your house. If it's Christmas Eve, you hear a rustling at the
Oh
front
my
of the
God,
house.
you're doubling
You could've
down.
said
Walk to the
jump
front
him.
of the
Me and
house,
my
and it's
friends
a
would've jumped him.
7-foot tall
You said kill
skeleton
him with
in a velour
hammers.
suit. And there's a hammer in your
Come on.
hand. You're gonna put the hammer down.
Why do you have a hammer?
You have a hammer in your
But
hand?
When you walk
Oklahoma
out to
City
the
Thunder
door,
are
That's what I'm
really
okay.
good. We can all
Okay, fair
agree,
question.
right? What a
When
great
there's a
basketball
noise in
team.
your house, what do you walk out to the front with?
Let's talk about SGA, bro.
a
Incredible
knife,
basketball
but
player,
OKC
bro.
is
Never misses shots he could make.
SGA was really taking
Oh.
a hammer to the
You
hear what I'm
to
saying?
whoever,
I know that's right.
Like he was really knocking him down, right?
they're really, really good. And if they don't come out of the West, it's gonna be because something went so far left. Like
For
I
sure.
will be absolutely bowled over shocked if they're not the team coming out of the Western Conference. They have everything. They're top 5 defense, offense. I think they're number 1, maybe even in defense. And Shai is a superstar. He's arrived. Hartenstein and Caruso. I mean, we were talking about this. Tyler and I were talking about this on Twitter yesterday, but like the fact that Sam Presti got Alex Caruso for Josh Giddey with nothing else. No picks, not even second round
understand,
picks,
dog.
just nothing. Just here's Josh Giddey. You give me Alex Caruso. The end. Like that is the craziest. I still can't believe that happened in real time. It was crazy. It's only gotten crazier as it's aged. And there's a perfect offseason additions for them. They were already the number 1 team in the West last year. And then they added exactly what they needed. Like they're awesome. And they're for sure coming out of the West. Like I feel so confident saying that.
Yeah. I mean, they were already a really good defense before adding Caruso and adding Hartenstein. And yeah, it's just like, you know, we went into the season saying, you know, OKC had the best off season, and it was just because they picked up Caruso and Hartenstein, right?
Yeah.
We knew that those were perfect pieces to get them to where they want to be. They didn't need any more firepower. They got an incredible perimeter defender in Caruso, got a great post defender in Hartenstein, and now they're the best defense in the league, bro. Like, yeah, they're for sure, you know, and even at the top of the season, I was like, you know, okay, see, they'd get my pick on who I think is coming out the West, but they've even exceeded my expectations on how good they would be and how great, you know, Caruso and Hartenstein would be a fit there.
Yeah.
Watching OKC makes me like, when I thought about the Lakers, just blow it up, bro.
Right.
I remember when people it's over with. You have no fucking shot.
They're not
over,
capable
bro.
of trying to play defense on that
bro.
level.
That's a whole ass, but and they're so good and they're so young, bro. It's over with. Start over. It's nothing you have now is you can't compete with these guys.
They're fast,
crazy.
they're young, they're athletic, and the most important thing, and this is like the Boston Celtics formula, shout out to Jackson, is that every single player on that team that I can think of.
Credit for the Boston Celtics formula. He had nothing to
I mean,
do
he's
with it.
he's a fan. Bro.
I just said
supported
shout.
him,
I
too.
was just acknowledging his presence. I'm not giving him credit, but the Oklahoma City Thunder, like every player that is actually going to get time, which is like basically like a 9 or 10 man rotation or something, probably is a 2-way player. Like everybody can shoot, everybody can defend, and they're all young enough to like not run out of steam. So
they're cheap enough to fit the current apron structure. And what blew me away, I started like ticking it off on my hands watching it, was the number of plays consecutively where they would blitz Luka. You double Luka to start the possession as he crosses half court,
and then get
then
back
they
to their
wouldn't
guy.
give up an open shot.
Yes, Lou Dort. Did you see that shot someone posted? Like Lou Dort was doubling Luka, and then he got all the way from the top of the key on the other side, all the way to the corner to block a 3-point shot, and successfully blocked it. Like, what do you do with that, bro? Like, I mean, Luka dodges with Luka.
You got to change the order that your offense has you pass the ball. Like you have to change everything because it's like we know where your first pass and your second pass out of a double is going.
But the problem is because they're so fast and athletic, even if they overcommit somewhere, they can recover so quickly and get back to where they need to be. So like It's Celtics Thunder at the end. I mean, it's what we all thought at the beginning of the season is going to happen. Like,
Yeah,
come on.
I saw a stat that said we've never seen a team average more steals and deflections than this team, which is just, because steals can be a bit of a misleading stat at times. Like
Mhm.
there are ways you can cherry pick steals. You can play passing lanes. Like Allen Iverson, my personal most favorite player ever, led the league in
Oh,
steals
man.
multiple times. It was not a
Not a good
lockdown
defender.
defender
Right,
by
right,
any
right,
measure,
right.
right? But yeah, that deflection stat, bro, that is a team that is pesky. That is a team that is not taking any possessions off. That is a team that thinks they can get the ball back from you every single time you have it, bro. And I can't imagine it has to be hell playing those dudes. I cannot imagine, bro.
And I just like can't overstate top 5 in both offense and defense, missing one of maybe their second best player, like one of their 5 starters. You don't think Chet's their second? I mean, I guess Jalen. So third
No.
best player at worst. Like
Chet's number 2 for me. Mike is just an anti-Chet guy. I don't think he'll ever.
They look really good without him.
I mean, they're just.
I think Hartenstein
They
is
look
better.
really
than
good
What?
without him.
that is a hot
The
take.
what? You said who?
That is a
Who?
scolding.
I
hot
think
take.
Hartenstein is better than Chet. I'm dead ass.
You think
signing up for that
What's your
first
logic
of all.
behind that?
You think 10
Is
points
it
per
just because he
game?
looks
think-
bigger and stronger, or what is the reasoning
Well,
here?
I think he's quite a significantly better defender because of how much stronger he is. You want to put Chet up against Nikola Jokic?
That's why they
I don't
got
wanna put
Hartenstein,
anybody
is
up
so
against
that
Jokic.
is so that
Like,
they didn't
who-
have to put Chet
I know,
against Jokic.
but like I think Hardenstein is a better defender. I think he's a better rebounder, and I think he's a dramatically better passer. He's not Draymond Green level, but if you throw it to him at the elbow, he is making.
Okay, we're talking
plays
about
at the
player,
elbow.
not just defender. Better player as a whole.
Oh, I know.
Because he can guard. You can throw him. He has a bigger body to put in front of Nikola. Jokic is doing the exact same thing to both of them niggas, bro.
I'm
Like,
a
you know
big
what I'm saying?
Isaiah fan, but I can't stand for this. Like Chet is
A
a
better
way better
player.
player than Isaiah
Player
Hartenstein.
as a whole,
The one
yeah,
thing
yeah.
I will give Hartenstein credit for that I think is underrated, and I noticed this a lot in the playoffs last year with the Knicks, his touch at the basket is remarkable.
It's been this way. His floater is
He has
insane
incredible
from the run.
touch
Here's
for a
how,
big.
let me rephrase it slightly. If you were building a team from scratch, I think Chet Holmgren is a better player to start a team with than Isaiah
Okay.
Hartenstein. But as not your best player, as anything other than your number one
Okay.
player, I think Hartenstein is better than Chet Holmgren.
Hartenstein
the
is
chat
really
saying?
good at Hartenstein's what he's supposed to do. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
He's like a
Like he's
perfect
really
role
good
player.
at his role. Perfect
Yes.
at his role. So if you're looking at it from that perspective, I understand. But Chet's a better basketball player.
1000%.
Just
You got to do some
Just
real.
The chat generally
just in
agrees with you
case-
guys. I have a
just
couple
in-
rogue
ju-
supporters.
Just in case to close off our Chet conversation, just in case anyone didn't know what I was referencing, one of my favorite tweets of all time from Hello Cullen. Me and my friends would have killed ET with hammers. I can tell you that much. That's what I was.
Oh, it was a reference?
Okay.
Why didn't you
Okay.
lead with
Okay.
that?
I did. It was just like we were laughing. I think as
We were laughing so hard
Yeah.
that
I
we
was
couldn't
like,
hear the
it's like
explanation.
the ET tweet.
Because you were talking about a human. That's where
Yeah.
it just got real.
I did cry off my eye makeup laughing, so there is that. But
Okay, that's good. Okay, we
Talked
have
a lot about the defense. I want to say like the flow of the ball on their offense is incredible too.
it's an amazing basketball
It's-
team. Like
they're
really, the flaws don't exist that I can see. I
So
mean,
fluid
yeah,
on
that's
both
the
ends of the
flaw.
court. You know what
They
I
haven't
mean?
really been there before.
Yeah, yeah.
That's my only concern with them in the playoffs is their limited amount of playoff experience. They just haven't had a ton of especially deep playoff experience. But I think they're fine. They're so confident. Like Shai is a supernova and he's been an MVP candidate for 2 years running. Like I think they're going to be fine.
And I think the things that make you good in the playoffs, like the deflections, that's a sign of a competitive team. Like they're competing at you know what I'm saying, on both ends of the court in every position. You know what I mean? And so I think it'll translate really well. And I think they've grown up since last year. They'll be
Mhm.
they're gonna I think they'll be just fine.
And
I think they'll be
Caruso's not
just
going to
fine
let
in the
them act
playoffs.
like teenagers in the play. I
Nope.
mean, like Alex Caruso's there, like that is like a hard hat wearing, like NBA, like go to work, do your job, professional, you know? And I think especially,
That's
Isaiah
the most
and
Republican
Alex.
thing about me. I love Alex Caruso so much. It's like he's so much higher on my favorite basketball player rankings than he should be. But every time I watch him, I'm like looking at Vinny the whole game. Like, you see the way he.
I
see
love
what
him
he
too. Did you
does?
You see the video of him hip checking someone after he got knocked to the ground? There's like a video floating around of like he gets knocked down in like a kind of aggressive possession. He waits down on the ground for a second to see if he's going to get the foul, doesn't get the foul, pops up as everyone's coming back in transition. He just hip checks the guy who knocked him over as hard as he can. It's awesome.